Welcome everyone. Welcome to yoga. Today we're going to need a chair and a block and being close to a wall. There's a few different ways to approach yoga practice for fear, anxiety, kind of an upshifted nervous system. I like to discharge energy for a little bit and then come to the floor and do some more relaxing poses. If you feel like you're ready for relaxation, just go ahead and fast forward the video to the mat poses. But to begin, we're going to start by just standing. So having a nice stance. How wide you want your stance is up to you. Just any position that helps you feel the soles of your feet. And you're just simply going to rock back and forth, side to side, feeling the weight of your body, shifting from one sole to the other, and then finding a place that feels center. And then begin to shift the weight of your body back and forward, backwards and forwards. Maybe even cultivating a sense of gratitude for the soles of your feet, recognizing how small the surface area is the soles of your feet, and our precious feet carry us around all day long. And then finding a place that feels neither too forwards or backwards towards the heels, just right in the center line. And then arms come alongside the body. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. And just take a moment to find yourself in this room. Welcome yourself to your yoga practice. Welcome. And then doing a little bit of movement with our breath. So the inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up. And then the exhale, sweeping the arms down. Nice and slow. See how drawn out you can get your breath. Inhaling a nice long pace. Exhaling, completely evacuating the lungs as you bring the arms down. And as we're moving with our breath, if you're finding maybe there's a list of things that are causing you frustration, anxiety, fear, allowing them to be in the space. So we're not trying to avoid anything or push anything away, just allow them to be here. But we're going to use our body to help discharge a little bit of this energy. Sometimes we need to let go of some things. So as you inhale and sweep your arms up, you're going to clap above your head. And then as you sweep your arms down alongside the body, clap below. Okay, you're going to just keep doing this a few more times. And I invite you to channel any of your frustration, fear, anything that needs to be discharged into this clap. Let's do that twice more, really clapping hard if you need to. Good, and then release the arms down alongside the body, bend the knees, and then stomp. Little stomps, maybe big stomps. Again, discharging the energy, discharging. And then stomping a little faster. A little faster still. A little faster still. You can swing your arms. A little faster still. And pause. Keep the knees soft and then just shake. Shaking, shaking. And then coming into stillness, into mountain pose. Taking a few moments, just noticing the breath, noticing the body. And then opening the eyes if you've closed them. Bring your gaze to something on the horizon, so eye level. non-moving. And we're going to use that as our point of focus. In yoga, we call that the drishti. And it's said that if we still the eyes, we're more easily able to still the mind. So the mind kind of follows the eyes around. So just rest the eyes on one point. And then shift the weight of your body over to your left leg. And you're going to swing your right leg forward and backwards. And as you do that, alternate swinging the arms. Doing a little asymmetrical movement. This is really nice to help the body and mind process things. And some of you might find you just kind of like tap the foot forward and backwards if balance feels a little bit hard for you this morning. Or maybe you just simply swing. Okay, so it's up to you. Tips for balancing: do not lock your balancing leg. So keep that knee a little bit soft. Feel your breath. And then swinging the right foot back behind you, land it. Bend the front knee a little bit. Inhale, sweep the arms up, give yourself a clap. And then left hand grabs a hold of right wrist. Rotate right palm towards the sky. Give it a big stretch. Draw your tummy in strong. And then we'll take a side stretch to the left. Try to keep your heart open, rotating your heart. We're going to get a stretch in the front of the right hip. The psoas needs a little bit of love. Keep the heart open, steady breath. One more inhale. And then step forward, mountain pose, exhale. Bend the knees and shake a little. Coming back to stillness, find your drishti, a point to rest your eyes on, and then shift the weight to your right leg. Swing left leg forwards and backwards. And so as the left leg goes forward, right arm goes forward. We're alternating with the arms and legs. Another nice way to help the body and mind process excessive stress is going for a walk. I'm sure a lot of us are doing walks these days, but really if you have a lot of pent-up energy, get out in nature and just walk. Asymmetrical movement, really helpful. It's totally okay if you're hopping around too. Next time the left leg swings back, land it, bend the front knee, tummy's in, inhale, sweep the arms up, give yourself a clap, and rotate left palm towards the ceiling, grab a hold of the wrist, and side bend to your right. Keep the belly hollow, steady breath. Nice stretch in the front of that left hip. One more inhale. And then exhale, step forward, mountain pose. Bend the knees, a little shake. And then take the feet about shoulder width distance apart. Keep the knees slightly bent. We'll do a little tiger butterfly. So you're going to start to spin, twist one direction, the other, and let your loose fists just kind of hit your hips as you twist. So kind of concoct your body in a way where you can hit your hips each time you twist with the arms. And then maybe concocting your body in some way that you can get the fist moving up the trunk. So now maybe going a little faster. And then try to get the fists to hit the shoulders each time. Maybe the back, maybe the chest. You can turn and look the direction you're twisting. Maybe lifting opposite heel. Few more rounds of this. And then slowing down, coming to stand. Take a moment and just feel your connection to the earth, your connection to the sky. So feeling this kind of connection that we are like these antennas. Good. And then we're going to come to our wall. We're we're gonna come into a wall plank. So hands right in front of the shoulders, and then start to walk the feet back until you can feel the weight of your body on your hands. So those of you who have sensitive wrists, well, this goes for everyone. Spread your fingers really wide in this wall plank and press the base of each finger into the wall. And so we want to avoid putting too much weight on the heel of the hand. That's the part just above the wrist. And we want to spread the weight out into the fingers, into the base of the fingers. So you might find you need to bring the hands a little higher. That feels better for the wrists and shoulders. Maybe they come a little lower. But we're just going to pause here, feeling the strength of our arms push us away from the wall. So taking a few more breaths, make sure your tummy's toning in. If you tend to excessively sway in the low back, meaning that like the belly comes forward and the back kind of sways, please make sure that you counter that by lifting the front of your pelvis a little bit towards your face. Take a couple more breaths here. Spread those fingers, pressing the pad of each finger into the wall, straightening the elbows completely if you can, if that feels okay. And then from here, you're going to either keep the fingers pointing straight up or explore what would it be like if you rotated your palms so that the thumbs point straight up, the middle fingers point off to the sides. So now this perhaps would encourage a deeper stretch in the inner arms, part the shoulder blades as you push yourself away from the wall. Feel your strength, feel your breath. Very nice. You can rotate your hands back so the fingertips are pointing up. Start to step forward towards the wall. And now I'd like you to walk, get as close as you can to the wall, like till your forehead touches the wall, and then walk your hands up the wall. So if you have that mobility in your shoulders, you want your hands overhead on the wall. Spread those fingers still. Forehead resting on the wall. And then lean into it. I like to do this with my feet like a few inches away from the wall. So then I'm a little bit on diagonal and I get a bit more stretch in the inner arm, upper chest. Some of you, if you've got some frozen shoulders and stuff going on with the shoulders, maybe the arms just come out to the sides. Take a couple breaths here. Now we're looking to stretch the arms further, stretch the chest. Sometimes our chest gets contracted. It gets more difficult to breathe, and that can contribute to feelings of anxiety. Last breath in and out. And then step away from the wall. You can turn around and face your computer screen again, and then just shake the arms, shaking and bend the knees, shake the body. And then coming to stand, roll the shoulders up to the ears, back and down the back, tilt your head to the left, inviting a stretch in the right side of the neck. You can stay here, or if you'd like a little bit more of a deeper stretch, you're going to create a wall with your left hand. So bring the wall of your left hand to the place just behind your top ear. And we're not pressing on the head, but we're creating a wall. We're going to press our head into that wall, and that's what's going to create the stretch. Please don't tug on your head. Maybe turn up the corners of your mouth, feel your breath. Good, and then release, come back through center. And then slowly tilt the head to the right. Take a moment here. Stay connected to your feet. Maybe you decide to create a wall with your right hand, so the wall comes right behind the ear, and then press your head into that wall. Soften your face, jaw, breath. And slowly release, come back through center. Lift the shoulders towards the ears and drop them. Lift, drop, once more, and then drop. We're going to come back to the wall, so back up to that wall. And I'd like you to stand with maybe your feet, let's see, about 5 inches away from the wall. So your heels are about 5 inches away from the wall. You're going to anchor your bottom and your upper back to the wall. And then bend the knees a little bit. And so now the back of the head, the shoulders, and the bottom will be staying on the wall the entire time. If you're, make sure your knees aren't bent beyond your heels, just for comfort. So walk your feet further away from the wall if you need. And then we're going to do some pelvic tilts here. So exhale, lift the front of your pelvis towards your face as the low back comes to the wall. And then inhale, low back comes just naturally away from the wall as you tilt the pelvis towards the floor. Another way of saying this would be exhale like you're going to tuck your tail or lengthen your tail towards the floor. Inhale, untuck it. Okay, so moving back and forth. Keep the shoulders on the wall the entire time. So try to avoid the wanting to come forwards and backwards, and rather isolate this in the low back. Good, and then come back through center. Keep a neutral pelvis and the shoulders moving back towards the wall, and let the arms come alongside the body. Palms will face out, right? So the backs of the hands are touching the wall. And then notice the length in your neck. Do your best to let the shoulders move away from the ears. We want to keep all this length in the neck. We want to keep a neutral pelvis as we inhale and slowly sweep the arms out left and right. Now, how far they come up for you just depends on what's going on in your body, but just stop when it starts to get kind of intense. So the backs of the hands are going to stay on the wall the entire time. Exhale, bringing the arms to beginning position. Long neck. And I find for me personally, I don't even have to go very far to start to feel sensation as I slide the backs of my hands up the wall, any amount, and then down. Long neck, relaxed shoulders, back of the head, shoulders to the wall. Let's do that one more time, and then just find a position that feels like a nice healthy stretch in the arms and the chest. The chin will be slightly towards the throat. Let's keep the back of the neck long. And then the next time you exhale, no hurry, release the arms down and come away from the wall. Once again, find your connection to the earth through your feet. Oh, thank you, feet, for carrying me around. And mountain pose, couple breaths. Good. So let's make our way down on, actually, let's do one more thing. You're either going to come into chair dog or downward dog for this next pose. So downward doggies, go ahead and get into it, right? You put your hands and feet on the mat, make like a triangular shape with your body. I'll demo the chair dog. So hands come onto the seat of the chair, or maybe the back of the chair, creating a right angle with the body. And pressing the feet and the hands into whatever you're pressing them into equally, okay? So as you come into this posture, here we're looking to Feel the strength of our body. Feel like the empowered quality of being able to really push through the hands, push through the feet to open up the back plane of the body. Some of you might find if you walk your hands a little wider that your chest can broaden. Please do that. You could play around with head lifted or lowered, maybe turning head side to side, but keep breathing and feeling that connection that you're making through the floor, through your hands. And now this is quite subtle. Hopefully it's not too much of a brain teaser. I want you to, on the next exhale, draw your tummy in and slightly round your low back while keeping your upper back in an arch. So keeping the chest open. So think open chest, open low back. Keep breathing. And then I'd like you to imagine you're inhaling energy through your hands and exhaling energy out the feet. So every inhale up through the arms to the heart, exhaling out from the heart, down the legs, through the feet into the planet. A few more rounds like that. And then the next 2 rounds, is there anything you want to give up, anything you want to let go of, or the wish to let go of? Send it down into the earth through the feet with an exhale. And sending some gratitude to the planet for receiving what you no longer need, giving it compost, and then walking the feet forward or coming to a seat. We're gonna come out of whatever downward dog variation we chose and come to the floor. Now here we are on the floor. We're gonna sit down in Sukhasana, or cross-legged position. Good to have your block nearby. And you might want to have your chair nearby as well. We'll be coming into a forward fold, but I'll get into that in a moment. So let's start with our right shin crossed in front. And then just take a moment balancing weight of body on left sits bone, right sits bone, and finding some length. Feel that connection you're making with the planet in the sky. And then I'd like you to bring the back of your right hand to the outside of your left knee. And see if you can hook the back of the right hand, kind of hook it down. Now my right arm is nice and straight. I'm having, this position of my right arm is helping the right shoulder pull down away from the ear. My right shoulder blade is fanning away from the spine. Keep your heart and your head facing forward, but you're gonna lean your right shoulder towards right knee until you feel like you have a nice stretch in the place between the shoulder blade and the spine. And then you're gonna take your left hand, inhale, sweep it up overhead, take it into a side bend. Side bending over to the right. We're moving that right shoulder away from the ear. Sometimes, I don't know about you, when I get stressed out, I feel like I start to wear my shoulders as earrings. So this is a nice one to move that down. And then from here, you'll come up straight, a vertical spine. Bring the back of your, bring your left hand now back behind you. Let's move it into a twist. So now we're twisting our heart to the left. We're turning our head to the left. And then coming out of the twist, bring the back of your left hand to back of opposite knee. And we'll do it from the top. So hook the back of your left hand behind opposite knee, and now start to lean left shoulder towards left knee And we're helping draw the left shoulder away from that left ear. And then with an inhale, right arm reaches up overhead, and taking a side bend now over to the left. Pressing the back of the left hand into opposite outer knee. One more inhale. And then exhale, land your right hand behind you. Come on up. Right hand back behind you. Now here we go. Moving our twist opposite direction to the right. Maybe looking over right shoulder if that feels okay. And then slowly come out of the twist. You're going to bring both hands back behind you. Kick your legs forward for a moment and shake it out. Turning fingertips away from each other. So let me give you a side view. Here you go. Thumbs are pointing towards your heels. Bend your elbows, swing the elbows towards each other and puff your heart forward. Lift, lift, lift. Chin slightly down and then lean the head back. Maybe turning up the corners of the mouth. On your next exhale, recross your legs, right shin in front. And now here we're just gonna fold forward over crossed shins. Some of you might enjoy stacking your forearms on a block and resting your forehead on those forearms. Some of you, maybe you can rest your forehead on the floor, I don't know. But if the block feels too low, you can always use your handy chair and just resting like this. This can be a nice, sweet, supportive way. So now is a great opportunity to tune into your breath once more and soften your belly. Inviting the low back to release from any tension. Softening your pelvic floor. Like you're placing a balloon in your belly, and the inhale expands the belly and the low back. And the exhale softens. A few more rounds of this. And with an inhale, come on up. You're going to recross your legs, opposite shin in front, and then come back into the fold. So now we're inviting some more opening into the left outer hip. Inviting still softness in the belly, softness in the back. And exploring a 3-part breath. So as you inhale, the belly and low back expand, then low ribs. Then at the top of the inhale, you move the breath up into the upper lungs. And with the exhale, upper lungs deflate, low ribs, and last belly. Explore that 3-part breath on your own for the next 4 or 5 rounds of breath. Go easy, go slow. Take one more slow, soft round of breath. And then come on up. So let's come down on to our bellies into Crocodile Pose. So face down on the belly, take your feet as wide as the mat. You can explore having your heels fall in or your heels fall out. Where you just have those legs wide enough that you feel really relaxed. And then you're going to stack your forearms or stack your palms, the backs of your hands rather, and then rest your forehead down on the hands or the arms. And then take a moment to shimmy your hips a little side to side. And I'd like you to do your best to really press the belly into the mat as you inhale. So you're going to try to get the belly so soft that it expands strongly into the mat. It pushes into the mat with each inhale, and each exhale, you feel the softness, the melting towards the planet. And perhaps you might even notice that the belly's pressing so much into the floor that it causes the low back to expand a little more. If the back feels tight in this position, you might need to lengthen the back of your pelvis towards your heels. And then we're going to add a little sound. We're going to hum. And I'd like you to hum. It doesn't have to be super loud. You want to hum so that you can feel it kind of rattle your brain, rattle around in your skull or your sinuses in some way that feels relaxing. So we'll take a big soft belly breath into the floor. And then on an exhale, just humming easy, nice and easy. Whenever you're ready, begin. We'll do this for a handful of rounds. Do that one more time. And now take a moment, and I'd like you to visualize any remaining energy of anxiety or fear, anything that you're ready to just like put aside for right now, let go of. Imagine it as a color or a frequency, imagining some energy of it in your chest, in your heart. Imagine that contact that your heart is making on the floor opens like a door in your chest. And now any anxiety, fear, energy just pours into the floor. Let the earth accept it. Let it become compost for the planet. And just visualizing what would that feel like to have all of that kind of energy out of your body. What would your body feel like? Good, and then you'll go ahead and come on up. Take your time. We'll come up through all fours for a moment and having a seat for a second. You're gonna grab your block and we'll do some legs up the wall. So if you don't have a block, a handful of books, a pillow. You'll bring it to up against the wall, and you'll have it up against the wall. That's going to be if your hamstrings feel pretty open. But if you tend to have tight backs of the legs, have your block a little further away. That way you don't have to have your bottom right up to the wall. So bottoms to the wall for the more flexible, and bottoms a little away from the wall for those who aren't. The way I like to come into it is I get pretty close to the wall. I inch right up there, and then I come into a fetal position on one side. And then you just kind of roll over and throw your legs up the wall. Slide your block or your books or pillow so it's just right underneath your bottom. We want to have it away from the low back. And you'll know if it's on the low back, it'll feel awkward. We want this to feel really good. Some of you might find that the knees, you want to keep the knees a little bit bent as you do this. Some of you might like just keeping the legs straight. So find a position that feels good to you. If you're on your period or you're with child, have your bottom on the floor. You don't want to elevate your hips. And then once you come into your position, let the backs of the hands come to the floor and have the hands far enough away from the body so that it feels like your armpits are getting a little bit of like a breather. And then closing the eyes if that feels okay for you, softening your face. I'd like you to imagine what it would feel like if a wave of relaxation came over your entire body, the energy of relaxation. What does that feel like in your body? And without needing to change your face or any part of your body externally, like imagine the energy of a smile on your face, right? So you don't have to turn up the corners of your mouth, but what is the flavor energetically or maybe chemically in your body, in your face when you smile? What does that feel like? And imagining that same quality that you feel in your body and your face when you smile, send that quality to the place between your shoulder blades. Feeling that smile energy there, that energy maybe of relaxation or light, whatever a smile feels like to you. Bringing that energy to your shoulders and your arms and your hands. Feeling that smile energy in your low back and your belly. And what about your chest? Feeling your chest smile, your heart smile. And hips. What would it be like if the backs of both legs were smiling? The fronts and the soles of the feet. Now taking the next handful of breaths just to really marinate in this energy, this quality of smile. The sensation of smiling. I encourage you to keep steeping in the smile as you start to bend your knees. And place the soles of the feet, press them together. So now we're in Cobbler's pose with the outer edges of our feet supported by the wall. And just let the heels lazily slide down towards the groin as much as feels available and pleasurable. Bringing a smile to the inner thighs. The pelvis. And as you're in this position, just check and see what is the position of your pelvis. Sometimes lengthening the tailbone towards the wall feels better in this position. Sometimes pushing the bottom more into the block helps you feel better in this posture. So finding that perfect pelvic tilt for this pose, for your body in this moment. About one more soft, easy round of breath. And then you'll use your hands to help the knees close. And lift the hips off your blocks or whatever you're on and bring your bottom flat to the floor. You can put your block off to the side. Actually, put your block off to the right side or your books or pillow, whatever. And I'd like you to scoot away from the wall so you're about a hand's width distance away from the wall. So at least that much distance, right? So from like your fingertips to your wrist, you'd like about at least that much. Some of you might need a little bit more. We're going to move into a twist though. So my feet are on the wall, just my bottom is about a hand's length away from the wall. Walk your feet to the right until your left hip stacks over right. You're going to extend your arms left and right. And here we're using the wall to support us. Now, if your top knee is popping up, you can let it just pop up. You could also stuff a block underneath it if you want a little extra support. So there's a block between your thighs. Or another option would be slide a block under the bottom leg, and then the twist just isn't so deep and it might feel nice that way, supported, the legs stacked. So arms left and right, gazing at the ceiling. Maybe you decide you like to turn your head to the left. We'll be in this twist for about 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. And then we'll gently come out of it by walking our feet back through center. Now both sides of our pelvis are on the mat. And then moving to the other side, walking the feet to the left. Using a prop if you like that. The soles of the feet are pressing into the wall. Maybe turning the head to the right now. You can't control the waves, but you can learn how to surf. So much of yoga, mindfulness, meditation, for me, and I know for so many people, is learning how to surf. But there's other ways too, sometimes doing a hobby that we love, something that helps us get into flow and allows us to move from worrying or ruminating and into something that we really enjoy, something that is of pleasure to us. Maybe you can think of one or two things that offers that to you and make a commitment to do that today for yourself or tomorrow. So slowly walk your feet back through center. And just take a moment here. Press the back of your pelvis into the floor, flatten your back into the floor, and press your feet into the wall. So just kind of helping stretch the low back. It's almost like it's like a, I don't know, a supported child's pose or something, but we're using our legs a little bit. Good, and then we're gonna just roll to one side. And come onto our backs, moving into a Savasana position. So you probably know how you like to do your Savasana. Please have all the props that you need. If you do have a tight low back, it can be nice to slide a block or pillows behind the knees. Stretching out the legs, finding a position of your pelvis that helps the low back feel long, the chest feel open. Let's bring our palms together and we'll just rub our hands together. We'll warm up the hands a little bit. And as we're warming up our hands, rubbing them together, I'd like you to think of a beloved pet or your partner or your best friend, somebody that you deeply care about, really easy to love, maybe a child. And imagine that the energy that you're now going to put your hands on your body with is the energy that you would do with your beloved pet or child or partner, right? One with compassion and kindness. And then you're just going to gently place the heels of your hand on your eyes, on your eye socket. So eyes will close and just let the fingers of your hands gently rest along your hairline. Just helping soothe the eyes. And then slowly just kind of stretching the skin of your forehead. So you'll press your palms gently onto your forehead and then start to sweep them away from each other, kind of parting. We're helping stretch the place between the eyebrows, the center of the forehead, giving yourself a sweet little massage on the forehead here. And then moving your fingertips now down to your temples, give your temples just a little massage. And then bringing the fingertips to the eyebrows and just sweep the fingertips along the eyebrows as you would with a loved one, someone you care about. And then moving the fingers down to the cheeks, the jaw. If there's anywhere that you notice that there's some extra tension, give a little love there. And then once more, bring your palms together, rub them. We're going to gently place the heels of the hands on the eyes and hum 3 times, just like we did earlier. So gently hands on eyes, big breath in. Bring the arms alongside the body on the floor, palms facing the ceiling. Feel the backs of the hands rest heavy. And once again, and get in touch with that smile energy of the body. Smile, relaxed, spacious. Savasana. If you'd like to stay longer in relaxation pose, please do. If you need to move on with the rest of your day, start by wiggling your fingers and toes. And then inquire what kind of movements would feel good right now as you're coming out of Savasana and entering into the rest of your day. Just letting your body inform you of what it needs and then offering it. then eventually, as you're ready, you'll slowly bend the knees, drawing the thighs into the chest. Give yourself a hug of gratitude, knowing that your practice here today not only benefits you, but all those around you. And then roll over to one side. Take your time coming up to a comfortable seat. We'll bring our palms together in front of our heart. If you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone special, visualize them now. Where are they in their day? And then we'll send out this kindness with an exhale. Big breath to gather it up. Send it out. See them smiling, relaxed, regulated, ready for their day. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.